within keeping within touching distance of Liverpool, just 12 games into the season. This is the next 6 fixtures, and looking back from Manchester United under a new manager in the middle of December, Juventus away, Palace have been improving, Forest, we know how well they've started this season under Nuno Espirito Santo. Feyenoord on Tuesday, but then that. Anfield.
It's a cracker, isn't it?
So if Liverpool win tomorrow, we can't say they're going to win, but they're playing against the bottom side. That would take the lead to 8 points. Could City then afford to lose that game, which would make the gap 11?
I think it'd be difficult. If you're talking about 11 points, you know, going to Anfield's always a difficult place to go anyway. If they go 11 points clear, it would be very difficult. But until it's over, I always feel like Man City have got a chance. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to go on and win the league, but they still will challenge. Of course, they've got problems. I mean, we're looking at City's performance today. It was almost reminiscent of when Pep first came to England in the Premier League, where they didn't quite know what they was doing. The tactics were... He was trying to implement this plan, and the players didn't know how to implement it at times. And today, they just looked a little bit ragged. And on the evidence of today, if Liverpool were to go 11 points clear, you'd have to say no. But I would never, ever write City off just because of the history of what they've done.
Have you seen enough already, Jamie, to say that Man City won't win the title this year?
No, they can still win it, but I don't think they can go on a run like they did. They have to win it a different way. I think next week they go to Anfield with... If he plays that midfield next week, Gravenberch, McAllister and Jones or Szoboszlai, whoever plays in there, will be too powerful for them. And that's where Liverpool will win that match. And I can't see anything else because they were too easy to play against. Liverpool, this right now is all falling into Liverpool's lap. It feels that way, you know, and I never thought I'd say that at the start of the year with a new manager. I think Arne Slot would probably think... I was hoping as a Liverpool fan maybe they get top 4. The fact that they're in the position they are... Arsenal are obviously going to be huge runners still. Big result for them against Nottingham Forest. But I look at I think the 2 runners are going to be Arsenal and Liverpool as it stands, because I think next week is going to be such a big game for Man City.
Watch it with us next weekend.
From Spurs scoring their first goal onwards, just like the whole stadium was in shock. What's your take on what you've just seen?
Yeah, maybe, but this is where it is. We spoke about that. We will not expect that the opponents cannot create chances, score the goals, and in our time together, always we concede the goals in a moment. So, but we are in the moment that we start really well the games. We had the chances, and after the first time they arrived, we concede, and now the moment that we have, that is a little bit more difficult to come back in the positions mentally, especially what you have to do. But chances were there, and but of course, the moment they create the chances, they build up. We were not, we cannot handle the duels like normally we were able to do it, and now we struggle a little bit.
Because of the run you're in, after a good start, does that first Tottenham goal, does the confidence and belief just drain away with that?
No, but it cannot happen. I said before, so when you play... in teams at top level, especially in Premier League, they can concede chances. We can concede chances, but it's part of the process. But of course, when you are in the situation that we are, always it's a little bit more tougher.
Yeah, you used the phrase in your press conference before the game about breaking the situation. Mm-hmm. Is that how it feels? You're just in some sort of spiral you can't get out of at the moment.
Yeah, of course. So we could not think about. Could not think before about that situation, but now is when we start really well again, and you can lose a lot of games in a row. No, it's not going to happen. Always in life can happen, like you are able to win a lot of games, always it can happen. Of course, we have to break it, but there is a more mentally, to approach what you have to do.
Does it feel like the bad run, 5 games now, did it feel like it got a bit more concerning, a bit more worrying? Your players back, you were at the Etihad, there was a great feel around the place at the start because of Rodri, because of your new contract, and then it didn't happen.
Well, when you lose 0-4, you have to say match. So accept it, congratulate Tottenham, as we have done, and look ourselves, and me first. So I have to see the situation, because the players come back, but come back still late, and there are few reasons that we are not able to be consistent. We are a team like always, we concede few. We're a team like always create chances, and now the balance is not in the right moment. But it happened, so we have to do it. We will talk, and of course on Tuesday against Feyenoord we have the chance to try. To try.
Yeah, you said we can't win the duels like we used to.
It's not only the reason why.
No, but I just wonder, what is that, a Rodri thing? What's happening there?
Of course, Rod is important, but we knew it for many, many months. So it's not that. John can play just 45 minutes. Manu came back with a effort, and Nathan came back. Ruben is not there. Jack had been injured many times. Kevin 2 months and 5 months. So there are a little lot of things that you understand. The process, what do you have to do? Why should be different after the last 8 years? You know, when it's going bad, you have to come back for the process or what we believe, deeply believe, that gave us these last 8 years. Like we did what we have done, and now we have to come back and fresh our minds and say, okay, and break and win in a game, and you know, the season is so long, many things is going to happen, and that's what we have to try to do.
So lastly, then, I was going to ask, like, how much longer can this run go on for before you say, I mean, it's Anfield next week, how long before you say, look, we're not going to win it this year, it's about looking forward now?
I don't know. Before that game, I didn't know what's going to happen today. You asked me what's going to happen in Anfield, I don't know. So, of course, we know that you have to break, but I don't know what happened. The same time when we won a lot of games in a row, that we were able to do it. Before the next game that we won it, I didn't know you were going to win. So, of course, now we have to, everybody knows that, of course, the situation is new for us, but they give us when it happened, it gave us, how difficult it is what we have done and how difficult it is. So many little things happen, and we'll see, because the game is there. I think we struggle more without the ball, especially now high pressing, but with the ball we are more than this. We create, I don't know how many chances, but we are there many times. At the end, our game was there. But in every situation, it's not going well right now, and you have to accept it and move ourselves and go forward.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Ben.
You're very welcome, and off he goes. Pep Guardiola again asked about Rodri, and of course this is going to keep coming up because he is the best player in the world right now, Ballon d'Or winner, and he's going to be missing for some time still. We've added this defeat ratio. We often talk about win ratios, but I think the defeat ratio is more significant when it comes to Rodri. You see with him in the side, they only lose 2.6% of games. This is since February of last year. Without him in the team, they lose more than a third, 35.7%, 10 of the 28 games they've played without him. Is it all about him, or is it a bigger picture?
I think big part of it, of course, if you look at the stats, it tells you there. I think it's not just what he does on the ball, it's what he does off the ball as well. The positions that we showed in analysis, he would be in them positions, and then he starts attacks, he doesn't panic. He's been chipping in with goals as well. But now, after the 50th, I'm starting to think it's something bigger than that, because it was not just the midfield. The defenders are not doing the basic things. The midfield's getting overrun, and then we're just expecting Haaland to score in every opportunity. Midfielders need to start chipping in with more goals. The fluidity of the team is not the same or what it once was. So I'm not in panic mode right now, but I think there's definitely cracks starting to appear in this Man City team.
I agree, and I think you put it perfectly there. I think what I've noticed, and it's not just today because it was a 4-0 drubbing, but the Brighton game, when they went 1-0 up, I never felt there was a security about them. They're fragile right now. Confidence is low. Is there that belief that we normally see? Rodri is obviously an important part, but is it everything? Absolutely not. Missing Kevin De Bruyne, missing Diaz. I honestly think great money, Alvarez in the summer, but I think it was a huge loss not having him, just to bring him on to give you some freshness. You know, the ages, I think you said the age of the team, 14, 9 of the 14 were 29 plus, is that right? I think that there may be a little bit of freshening up. Hugo Viano's coming in the summer. There has to be a bit of a rebuild, because you cannot keep relying on Kevin De Bruyne to create chances and win you games and do all the great things that he's done. There has to come a moment where you've got to start to look forward and thinking, okay, how do we make sure that we can keep up with these other sides? Because today they were just overrun and overpowered, certainly in that midfield.
On that point that Jamie makes, we've actually got a graphic which does show this, the average age creeping up for Manchester City. So they have 10 players aged 29 or more, as Jamie said there, but 9 of the 14 tonight that were used were 29 or over, and their percentage of minutes by 29-year-olds or older is the highest now in the Premier League. Does it suggest, actually, Mike, if you think about this next couple of years for Pep Guardiola, now he's signed this new contract, it might be, as Jamie says, more of a rebuild, or is this team still able to win now?
I think this team's still able to win now because let's not forget Doku, the age of Doku. You got Savinho, the age of Foden, the age of Guardiola,
Haaland.
the age of Haaland, the age of Rico Lewis. The problem is it's a key element. So when you lose Rodri and how important he is to the team, if Haaland's not scoring and he scores all the goals in the team, then you start to look where the problems are lying. I don't think it's too much of an age thing. I just think the players, Oscar Bob, at the start of the season, he had unbelievable pre-season. He would have been playing in this team. I don't think Man City, especially in history, have allowed the team to get 2-2 without freshening it up. I just think the key players are not playing at the level we all have seen.
What we're going to be saying, and everyone's going to be saying, we'll write this team off at their peril. The Man City's prime, they went 18 games, won 18 on the spin to win a title. And they've done it so often at the back end of the season, and we always say, well, Man City are going to come here, they're going to come on their run now. I don't see, and it might be a foolish thing to say, I don't see that this team right now, where it's at, without the players that they're missing, and the players perhaps not being at the level that they have been over the last few years, are capable of doing that. Now, can they win the title still? Absolutely. They're going to have to win it a different way.
Correct.
Because I don't see that they can keep clean sheets or win games, and that's why I think it's going to be, if it's going to be a title win, it will probably be one of his best and the most difficult, because this team isn't capable of going on that extended run that others have.
They have been in worse situations than this before at this stage of the season. This is a reminder of what it was like. This is the season after Liverpool had won the title, and Man City found themselves down here, 20 points from 12 games. So similar stage of the season. They then went and won the next 15.
We can't write off City.
But to Jamie's point, is this City team right now capable of rolling off a stretch of wins like that? 10, 15 games?
I would say in history, yes, but I do agree with Jamie. It looks a little bit different. Something is not right. But every time you sort of go against City and what they're doing, and you're thinking, they can't do it, they find a way. I mean, to win the title 5 on a bounce would be a very difficult thing to do, especially without someone like Rodri being fit. I said at the start of the season, if they were to lose Rodri, that could be the difference between them winning the league and not. So maybe not the runs that we've seen in history, but the players have done it, so you can't write them off. You know, time will tell.
No, and that's I'm not being disrespectful at all, because I've so much admiration. I've stood here for many years talking about what a side this is, one of the greatest in Premier Leagues, and what they've done, what they've achieved, and that work ethic and that winning mentality that Pep has installed in them. But just feel this group right now just feels wounded. Yeah, is that wounded animals are dangerous? I'm just not sure when I watch City right now that they've got that inner strength to do it.
Lastly, before we move on, I think in the runnings before, it might have been just Man City versus Liverpool. The difference is this year, you've got Arsenal and Liverpool. So if Liverpool went through a little bit of a bad run, you might think, but they've still got Arsenal as well. I think that's why this season could be different.
We have spoken tonight a lot about Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker's been doing some talking of his own. Here he is with Patrick Davison.
Kyle, thank you for coming out. Is it hard when it's this fresh to actually get your head round what's just happened?
Yeah, it's hard to stand here and speak about it when you haven't really probably digested it just yet. But you know, I've stood here when we've won titles, so I'll stand here when we take our defeats as well. Do you feel at the moment defensively? I'm not just talking about the defence, but just as a group, like just constantly vulnerable, almost even when you're playing well. Yeah, you could say so. You could say so. This is the most frustrating thing, you know, about me as a defender, is that I don't care about scoring goals. I'm not bothered about scoring goals. I'm bothered about clean sheets, and that's something that we're not doing at the minute. And it's something that we need to change. You know, you need to go back to the basics, and that's getting a clean sheet, and then you've always got a chance of going and winning the game. You know, you concede 4 goals at home. What do you want our strikers to do? Go and score 5. So as defenders, we need to do a little bit more, but I'll reverse that, and we defend as a team and we attack as a team. We score goals together and we'll defend together. So that's not just the back 4, back 5, you know, back 6. It's all 11 players on the pitch. Do you feel like collectively, and I'm talking about some seriously great Man City players in there, just a few of you know, to be quite honest, probably including yourself, have just lost confidence together maybe? I wouldn't say we've lost confidence together, because I've spent 8 years with this fantastic group of players and people, we've lost confidence as a team because we haven't won in a long while. But we have to remember what we've achieved. But what we've achieved counts for nothing. It's in the past now. It's history. What it's about is about winning the Premier League now. And we're making it harder and harder for ourselves because we've got teams that are around us and one team that is above us that is doing really well. So we'll keep fighting to the end as we always do. The best way to turn this around is on Tuesday. As you know, we'll do again. We'll come out and we'll try and get 3 points. And then hopefully, you know, the mojo comes back and, you know, we see the normal City that we have done in the last, 8 seasons.
So do you feel like it is, personally as a team, it's still in there? It hasn't gone away? It's confidence, it's mojo, to use your word?
Practice makes permanent, as I say. It doesn't vanish from us. Your powers don't just go. We as a team know what we can do. We know our qualities. We know our weaknesses. And it's about just getting a win. You get a win, you get your confidence. The mood lightens up, and all of a sudden, we're back to where we used to, or how we used to feeling.
So last one then, Anfield next week. How do you turn it around?
Well, it's a great game to turn it around, to take 3 points off of the team that's sat above you. But we can't go out there and do a performance like that because we're going to get walked over there. So that's down to each and every one of us at the club, from now until next Sunday with a game in the midweek in the Champions League to prepare massively for this massive game on Sunday and make sure that we can keep in touching distance of Liverpool.
Thanks for coming out again.
Cheers, thank you.
Hope you can hear us. Let's